Hello, everybody. This is Madeline again of Sister Luna Psychic Services. Today we're going to be talking about the Hierophant, card number 5. And in this deck, he is shown in the image of the Pope, which is interesting because the word Hierophant is actually Greek, and it's referring to the high priest of the Eleusinian mysteries, or the cult of Persephone and Demeter. So this card is combining Roman Catholic imagery with the title of someone who is in charge at a cult of 2 goddesses. Interesting combination. I can see how that ruffled a few feathers back in the day. So the fact that he is showing us both the church and a rite of initiation, that's a very clear indication of what the Hierophant means. In the image, we also see some crossed keys there. And that reminds us that knowledge is the key to open many doors and experience as well. If you can go to a university and get a degree that says, I know about this, it's much easier for you to open doors in said field, of course, right? So also in the image, I want to point out that there are people bowing. They're presumably cardinals or something, since he's the Pope. But why are they bowing? Why was that included in the imagery of this card? Is it because the Hierophant is simply a man of great experience and they respect him and they want to learn from him? Or is it because they've been led to believe that through him or through his organization is the only way for them to obtain what they desire? This card can kind of go one of 2 ways. So that's something to consider when you're reading it for your client, whether it's coming up in a reading. You know, you kind of have to look at the other cards and figure out if this is a positive card of learning or a negative card of, you know, too much structure and too much hierarchy. When this card comes up in a reading, the querent needs to choose. Like, they are in, or soon will be in, a situation with a very, very strict niche where they are just a cog in the machine of whatever it is. And so they can accept that niche and they can learn and thrive potentially, or they may choose to rebel and do something else. If you see this card come up with the Justice and the Lovers, that means marriage. It's pretty widely agreed upon by lots of readers. Most people get married in a church or by some kind of religious figure, so that makes sense. Justice is the legal binding, and then Lovers is the couple, of course. Also, if you see it come up with warrior cards like the Chariot or like the Knight of Swords, I would read that as military, because the Hierophant is showing a very strict institution with hierarchy, and that fits the military when we add in the warrior aspect. He can also represent in a reading a person that is known to you or to your querent, who is simply, you know, a boss, a teacher, or a religious figure, like a priest or something. Basically, though, it's someone who either the querent is going to have the opportunity to learn from and like apprentice under, or it's just someone who really loves their position of power and loves having this hierarchy of people below him. And that's kind of one of the things that makes this card different than the Emperor. I know they're kind of similar and they're right next to each other in the deck, but When I said the Emperor is number 4, and he gets his power from the structure of everyone being equal and working together. Not so much with the Hierophant. In fact, because he's 5, we can imagine that same 4-walled structure, except that the Hierophant is just on top, going, I'm the boss of all of this, ha 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 ha. I guess maybe I personally don't love this card because I'm a pretty unstructured person naturally. But it can be a very positive card. It's simply telling the querent many times to just continue learning. If this card is inverted, I don't always read inverted cards, but because this card meaning is pretty straightforward, it makes sense to read it inverted if it comes up that way. And to read it, it's just the opposite. To think of being very unstructured. Just going with the flow, not having really strict, rigid plans, or doing your own thing, leaving a big company to start your own business, something like that. Either, whether it's upright or inverted, it can be positive or negative card. So you kind of need to decide that based on the other cards that come up in the reading, or even better, just based on the sense that you get when you turn the card over. So to align yourself with and connect with the Hierophant card, I would suggest, if you're motivated, take a week, like on Sunday, say, and look at the next week and plan it all out. Like decide, okay, Monday morning I'm going to have oatmeal with blueberries for breakfast, and then I'm going to start working on this project, and create that plan for the whole week and see if you can stick to it. And then once you're done, reflect back on how did that help you, or how did that hinder you, and what are you going to take away from it. That's really a great way to connect with this card because it combines both the structure and planning of the Hierophant with the learning. If you're already a pretty structured person and that's not really going to be a challenge for you, then I would suggest literally going on Coursera or one of these other great sites that has free online university courses and just sign up at no cost to you. You get to have that experience of learning from lots of excellent teachers. I'm taking a Yale business course on YouTube right now. It's a really great opportunity, you know? And the fact that you're watching these videos and trying to better yourself by learning this ancient art, you're already aligned with the Hierophant a little bit. So great job there. I can't wait to come back and talk about the Lovers next time. I am a big, big fan of that card. So, you guys are the greatest. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Blessed be.